We're back with rural development in continuation, and the first key issue that we will take up is rural credit. Now, what is rural credit? We're going to talk about the importance of rural credit. How important is rural credit for the villages, the rural areas? So, because there's a long term gap between crop sowing and the realization of income, so it becomes a very important part. Then another thing is, which we find, credit is a way of life there in rural India. That is, and we can divide this into productive loans and unproductive. So unproductive credit and productive credit, we'll be talking about that. And then so basically we are going to just do that in this. So rural credit is very essential for the productive activity, say in agriculture, even industry, small industries over there. So it is a credit requirement of rural population. But the nature of credit, the rural credit, differs from that in other areas. And so need for credit by farmers. Why do you think the farmers need credit? So credit is the one of the basic for conducting all agricultural operations, and sometimes they cannot really meet their credit needs from their own savings, so they have to rely on other finance. And as I've written and I've put down that farmers need credit due to the long-term gap between crop sowing and realization of income after sale of their produce. And credit requirements of the rural people can be classified into two categories, that is productive credit and unproductive credit. So when farmers require loans for purchasing seeds, fertilizers, agricultural implements, so what it's for more production, so it is called productive credit. So they use this credit amount for improving the productivity of their cultivable land. But that is known as productive credit. So rural people also require credit for fulfilling their consumption needs and also meeting some social obligations, like for example even clearing old debts, paying court fees in connection with some litigation that is going on, some court case which is going on. Half the time it is with their lands, etc. Then also credit requirement arising of such need. So when you're talking about all this, then it is unproductive. So this is called unproductive credit. And also for unproductive credit is also for fulfilling their social obligations, say marriage, death, etc. Now the repayment. Why is this so important? The repayment of productive loans is not so difficult. Why? Because they help in increasing agricultural production and productivity, so thereby increasing their incomes out of which they can repay. But unproductive loans, it becomes very difficult for them to pay. Now based on this, rural people need loans for different purposes. Now for example, so they have we've categorized them into three parts: short term credit, medium term credit, and long term credit. Let's take the short term credit. Indian farmers need short term credit, that is for a period up to say 15 months. Why? To purchase inputs like seeds, fertilizers, payment of wages. And short term credit is generally given by or provided by the money lenders, relatives of farmers, cooperative societies, also commercial banks, but generally even these people give, the non-institutional sources. Let's take the medium term credit. So this is for the requirement for the purchase of animals, plow, pump sets, improvement on land, and the time period is between 15 months to 5 years. And also, people require medium term credit for unproductive expenditures such as marriages and other social and religious functions. For that also they borrow. And a long term credit, they need this, which ranges from 5 years to 15 years. It is used to make permanent improvements on land. For example, investment for long term production, expenditure on the purchase of additional land or expensive machinery like tractors. All that is financed by the long term credit. So now we will be talking about say how important the importance of institutional and non-institutional credit. What is that?